Alrighty, we have an outlet here in a very shallow box with very old brittle cloth and rubber wire. And if I push the newer outlet in, and you'll crumble and short the wires. What I'm going to do is use a box extension so that the wires aren't forced. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. For your branch circuits, black is live, white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop on a 110, 120 volt circuit or on a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. And we're going to use lever connectors so we don't have to mess around twisting the wires, which could crumble the brittle insulation. And we're going to pigtail a nice new piece of wire going to an outlet, and the outlet's going to be on what's called a wire mold extension box so that there's not stress on the wires so that they're not forced into the box where it could create a short. So I'll show you how to do this. These are the lever connectors we're going to be using to pigtail our wires to our new outlet. And here's the new outlet we're going to be using. If you look closely, they're made here in the country I was born in. That's a nice thing to see. So we'll pull our tail wires out of our Romex jacket here. Okay, so here in the country I was born in, your white wire is neutral. It goes on the silver colored screw, which is the wide slot. Your black wire goes on the brass screw, or it could be red or blue. That's the live conductor, and it goes on the brass screw, and that's the narrow slot. And your bare green wire goes on that green screw for the ground. But there's no ground in this, but this is a self-grounding outlet. You can see how the green screw is attached to the metal yoke, and when I screw this metal yoke into the box, it bonds it to the box. Close our green screw we're not going to be using. So we'll strip our black wire to go around our brass screw. We'll strip it about right here. I'm going to pull it with my teeth so I don't use my left hand. And we'll strip our other end to go into our lever connector about right here. So I pulled that off with my teeth so I don't pull on my left hand. Okay, you always put your wire around the screw, the direction the screw turns. So we'll make our loop the direction our screw turns. I'm going to use my needle nose. Put your wire around the screw, the direction your screw turns. Close your loop. like that. Make sure your copper is under the screw head all the way around, and our insulation is not pinched under the screw head. Okay, I'll put it up here to give it more support when I'm tightening it, so I don't put stress on my left hand. So there's our black wire around the brass screw. Now we'll do the same with our white wire. We'll put it around our silver screw. We'll strip off just about an inch. We'll make our loop the direction our screw turns. Get it around our screw there. Notice this little notch here, that helps you loop the wire too. Okay, so we get it down all the way here, so I'll bring it up here so I don't have to hold it to tighten it. Okay, so there we go. We have a nice connection around our silver screw. This is our extension box, so we don't have to force the wires into the box. I got a bunch of them. So this plate goes on first in the box. We'll go on over top of this. So we're ready to go downstairs and shut our power off. Okay, so we'll take our outlet out of the box here. Okay, so I'll get our wires out here. We'll get them straightened out so we can put our Wagos on here. Oh, they had 3 wires under one screw. That's not safe. So we're going to have to put one on the outlet. So there's our whites. And we'll bring it down. Whites are going to be the ones on the top. And these are our black wires down here on the bottom. So I'll leave our blacks looped here. So we're going to have to use our wire nuts here. So we're going to put our whites together. And if I can find my pliers, it will be very, very nice. If I can't, I can't. I won't be upset. Unfortunately, I have them. So we'll get our wires together here. We'll just very lightly twist them. I'm not going to go crazy twisting them here. I don't want to crumble the brittle insulation. Okay, they look even. So I want to clip them so they're even with the shortest one here. So we'll just get them lined up so they're even here, like this. Get them lined up so they're even. Get our wire nut in here. Make sure it grabs all our wires. So now we can get our black wires straightened out here. So we'll bring them out like this. So we'll get our two blacks started here. Get our third one in here. Get all our wires so that they're even here. I'll cut them so they're even with the shortest one. Okay, now just look, make sure I see all three of my wires even at the end here. I'll get my black one up here. Get them even like that. See how our copper's even at the end here? And our insulation's even at the bottom. We'll just stick our wire nut on here. Make sure insulation's going up into the bottom of the wire nut. Okay, so now we can push our wires back into our box. Now we can put our plate back on here. I'm going to grab this wire nut, make sure it's not stressed against anything. Okay, so now we can put our extension on the box here. Since we don't have any wire mold coming out of this, we don't have to open up any of the holes, so we can just get our outlet on here like this. Put our box on here like this. It'd be nice if I can find my Phillips. But if I can't, I can't. If I don't, I don't. But I'm glad I found it. Oh, he is in Hawaii. Put it down, make sure I'm in my track on both sides there on the bottom. Okay, we're in our track, both top and bottom. And now we can screw our outlet into the box here. We can fold our wires that they go into the box the way we want them to. Our screw's not going to hit the wires. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'll get my flashlight here and just look, make sure nothing's pinched. Okay, our screws aren't hitting any of the wires, and nothing looks pinched. And now we just put our cover on here. Alrighty, so here in the country I was born in, our outlets are 120 volts, and we'll just check it, make sure we have power here. And we do. Alrighty, so what I'm doing is I'm maintaining a very nice luxury apartment here in a beautiful luxury complex here. And the landlord has a very good reputation around town. He takes good care of his property and takes care of his tenants, so it's a joy to help him out and do some favors for him and make some YouTube videos. Peace. Thanks for watching.